Hey there, it's Michelle, and it is 35 days before I have top surgery. Today is Friday, October 15th. And I'm making this video because I am spending this weekend telling my parents about having top surgery. I spent the day today writing my dad a letter about my surgery, and I am headed home leaving here in the next few minutes, and I'm traveling home to visit my mom to tell her about having surgery in person. So I wanted to document a little bit about my process in getting here, which has been a pretty difficult one. And, when I first started thinking about questioning my gender identity, I remember hearing about top surgery, and I remember hearing about people who did it, and I didn't know anyone at the time, but I knew about it, and thought to myself, my initial reaction was, I could never do that. I could never do that while my family, my parents, most importantly, were still around. I can't imagine having those conversations with my parents. It felt too big. It felt too much. I think it's a little bit tied around coming out and what that process was like. And I think that since then, I've sort of felt like if I could just be a good enough gay, and I kept showing up and kept being me, that my family would realize it's just still me, even if I'm changing, if my sexual orientation changes, but if I just kept being me, that they would love and support me. And I think at the time when I came out, from then until now, my outward expression of my identity has definitely changed. I definitely am a lot more butch than I was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And I think that that has been a slow progression in and of itself, because I was scared of what my family would think, or I would be too other in my family. And I don't want to sell my family short, but I think that for me, it's a lot wrapped up in wanting to feel accepted and wanting to still feel a part of my family and not create something that doesn't allow me to fit in anymore. So having top surgery was initially completely out of the question. I couldn't think about it, couldn't imagine how it would be possible. And so I think getting to this place has been a hard journey, and I'm definitely have a lot of anxiety about telling my mom, and I'm not quite sure what her reaction is going to be. But at the same time, I feel ready. I feel like I've been holding on to all of this question, and I've been taking care of her in many ways by trying to not make things uncomfortable, and it's a lot to carry around. And so I feel like in this quest to be more me, that it means, and bring my whole self to my family, that it means being wholly me in front of my family. And so my first step in doing that is telling my parents about top surgery. So that's what I'm going to do this weekend, and I'm sure I'll film a video after. And my last two thoughts that I just wanted to share in thinking about the process is that, one, it feels like this being more me is kind of reflective of how my parents raised me, which is sort of a weird thing to try and make sense of, that this is where I am because in part of my parents and the values that they instilled in me. And so it's a strange thing to sort of then bring that to them. And finally, I think the part of me that's ready and that feels excited is that I'm finally one of those people that I was so in awe of a while ago, that shared this experience with their family, and that there was another side, and that things were okay, and it was okay to make that choice. not that there's approval or permission, but that it just feels good to be in a place that I'm making this decision for me. So that's it for now, and stay tuned for more later.